All right, so last lesson, we learned that slow food movement promote something called fair trade. So today we're going to learn what is fair trade and how it works. So most people these days consume products like chocolate, coffee, or bananas. Now, are they usually produced in developed or developing countries? These days, many of the foods that we eat are imported from all over the world. Producers of products like coffee, cocoa, and bananas are often poor farmers in Africa, Southeast Asia, or South America. They often have poor working and living conditions, and their communities often lack schools or hospitals. So, fair trade is a scheme to help farmers in developing countries. So, when you buy a product with a fair trade label, you pay a higher price. In exchange, fair trade promises that farmers receive a variety of benefits. So that's the fair trade logo here. Guarantees a better deal for third world producers. So fair trade promises benefits for the producers, such as a higher price for the produce, improved working conditions, training, and things like schools, hospitals, and clean water. Fair trade organizations are based in developed countries. Farmers need to form a cooperative that follows the fair trade rules. Then their produce is then sold with a fair trade label, and they receive the benefits of the scheme. So fair trade focuses on products exported from developing to developed countries, such as coffee, cocoa or chocolate, sugar, tea, bananas, and honey. So these are the typical products that often will have the fair trade logo or label. Right? So you can see these bananas, they have the fair trade label. Here, this Maltesers, right? They have chocolate and sugar in them, and so the ingredients, the chocolate and the sugar, will come from fair trade. And there's the logo, right? So here on this map, we can see where are the fair trade organizations located and where are the farmers, right? So the green ones, that's where the farmers are in these countries here, in the green countries, including China. And then the consumers who buy the fair trade produce are in the countries marked in blue, right? All right, so we're gonna watch a video about a study done in Switzerland. Do fair trade labels help farmers in developing countries? So there's some question whether these labels actually work, whether they actually help the poor farmers. And Switzerland is a country which is famous for chocolate and things like that. And so they have these kinds of organizations, and coffee as well. They have these kinds of organizations working to, try to help the farmers. So they did a study to find out whether these labels actually help the farmers. So let's have a look.
Farmers struggling to live from what they produce. child laborers being exploited on cocoa plantations, pesticides being sprayed over crops, poisoning the environment and the workers. Consumers are often unaware of the conditions under which their coffee or chocolate were produced. But what about fair trade products? Do fair trade labels really make a difference to farmers in developing countries? The State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, or SECO, has launched the world's first study to answer these questions, and they found some surprises. The most important is that all labels massively improve conditions for the farmers.
Einkommensmäßig, das ist ja das, was die am meisten natürlich interessiert.
We were mostly interested in farmers' incomes. On average, they increased by 30%, compared with those for non-label farmers.
Produziert ist 30%.
Labels provide farmers with better training. The extra know-how helps increase the harvest. And how do the labels compare among each other? Farmers for Max Havelaar on average produce 13% more than conventional farmers. Rainforest Alliance farmers harvest 15% more and UTZ certified farmers 32% more. On top of that, better trained farmers produce better quality goods, which results in a higher price. Max Havelaar farmers get 9% more for their products. UTZ farmers 4% and Rainforest Alliance 10% more compared with conventional producers. All labels show good results. This is a surprise. So far, Max Havelaar was considered the leader. However, Max Havelaar's CEO, Bernhard Herold, claims there are other important criteria alongside better salaries.
Fair trade is not only about higher prices or increasing harvests. We also have to strengthen the organizations of small producers. For cocoa and coffee, fair trade exclusively works with small farmers, some of which are in very remote areas.
An earlier study by WWF came to much different results. Max Havelaar was recommended, while UTZ and Rainforest Alliance featured among better than no label. Why these differences?
We took a different approach. Our study looked at what the labels required, for instance, regarding the environment, social aspects, or animal husbandry. The new SECO study, though, for the first time shows how it affects the farmers. This is interesting, and it's important that we include these findings in our study too.
So far, SECO has supported Max Havelaar financially, while others were left out. Is this now going to change?
Wir sind offen für alle möglichen Labels.
We're open to all labels that boost sustainability and, of course, help generate higher incomes for farmers. Our study shows that this is possible with all labels.
Das ist möglich eigentlich mit allen Labels.
So whoever wants to help increase these farmers' income should buy fair trade products. At present, however, less than 10% of the world's cocoa and coffee production is produced under a fair trade label.